Ahoy, folks! Tris here with a quick little website tour for Princess Peach Showtime, because the Japanese website is now live. So earlier this morning, we got the brand new trailer that showed off the Ninja and Cowgirl power-ups for Peach. And now the Japanese website is live, which actually gives us an even better look at both of those, and pretty much everything else about the game. Even more than this past trailer had, so we're gonna go through and take a look. So, yes, so as of today, the official website is now up. A new video introducing her new transformation has been released. That's the trailer that came out earlier. This is a really nice render. This is a really nice render of Peach and Stella. And then we have the villains. Okay, I believe in the other sections we have a new look at all of these and more. Yeah, this little early breakdown of them is pretty much the same clips that we have in the trailer, so we're gonna come back to that when we actually look at them extensively. This is interesting because we had a video after the last Nintendo Direct that Jake did where we looked at all of the banners. And we tried to figure out what the other power-ups were. And Jake looked at this one over here on the left and said, yeah, that's Ninja. And then I think it was this one on the far right that he looked at and said, this one must be Western. Now, what's great here is we actually have a much better look at these. So we could see, yes, this one up here is for Sword Fighter, then the Patissier, then the Detective, and then on the far left is Ninja. I think this one on the very far left next to Ninja is actually Kung Fu, based on the outfit. In which case, that means we are still missing which one is Western. So this one on the far, second from the far right here, still could be Western themed. In which case, then we are missing this one on the very far right, which from the pose looks like it's themed to like a superhero. It's kind of got that like action pose going on. So we might get a superhero Peach. And then off to the left, there's these three over here as well. We have this one on the far left here. It's really hard to tell what it is. I mean, it's definitely one of these like new little NPCs, but I can't really tell what's going on in the picture. It almost kind of reminds me of like a song playing. So I know Jake talked about maybe one of them was a musical. Maybe that's actually this one. Although it also kind of looks like a flower at first glance. So maybe there's some sort of gardening going on there. To the right of that, we have this shot that looks like the lower half is the city, we have the moon up top, and then some sort of like paraglider thing up here. I don't think this is the superhero one anymore, although it kind of does give me that sort of bat signal kind of vibe to it. I'm not really sure what power-up we would get for this one if superhero's on the far right, but it's definitely interesting, and it should give us another clue. But the one to the right is probably the one that stumps me the most, because I really don't know what's going on here. It almost looks like he's in front of stage lights, but the entire thing is on a stage, so that wouldn't really change much. I really can't tell what's going on with this one, but these four are the banners that we can't quite figure out. We're pretty sure this one at the end is a superhero, but what do you guys think these three are, especially now that we have a better look at them? Make sure to let us know down below. But, moving on, we're going to actually go to one of the other pages here. So we'll go to the story. Now, we got a good amount of the story cutscene in the trailer back in September, but this up here kind of recaps that. It has a lot of the same scenes, and I think a little bit more, so we'll watch it through here. Peach and the Toads got the invite to the theater, and then the theater got invaded. Notably, Peach loses her crown, and then the whole theater kind of falls under this control. And then Peach and Stella have to work together. This is the render we all know and are familiar with of Peach. We had a couple screenshots here with her. And then Stella. And then we got these little guys. I like that their noses actually light up different colors. I think that's a cute little detail. And then we have the villains. This is actually a very nice render of them. We can kind of see them wreaking havoc and causing problems in the other areas. But the main thing we're interested in here is this page for the transformations, because these actually have new looks at every single one of them. So here's a little trailer for Fencer Peach, Sword Fighter Peach. Ah, Witch Time. She's got a nice little dodge. Okay, now we have Patissier. Now it's interesting because Patissier Peach sounds like Peach normally does, but many of these other power-ups, her voice sounds different. And I'm very curious why. Like, I think they probably did change her voice actor, or at least change the voice direction. But it's interesting that this is the only one we've really heard so far that sounds like Peach normally does. Also, just scroll down a little bit, we can see the nice little icons for each of these different abilities. But next up is Kung Fu. Oh. Looks like there's some satisfying combat going on here for Kung Fu Peach. I'm actually very curious to see how this one plays out. Next up, we have Detective Peach. Solving mysteries. You know, what we see in this one isn't too different from what we usually see from, like, the other trailers that had Detective Peach, but it's definitely a more curious one. This one definitely seems to be more slow-paced and less combat-focused. And I'm definitely curious to see how this section plays out. I wonder if it'll be a bit slow, or if it'll blend well with everything else. Next, we have the new Ninja Peach. So we get the good look at how this one differs from Kung Fu. These abilities look really cool. I think out of all the ones you've seen so far, Ninja Peach might be my favorite one. The different things going on in these levels, or different abilities, they look really fun. And it also looks to be pretty quick. I love that you can kind of hide here with different disguises. I think it's pretty interesting, actually. And I definitely look forward to the gameplay here. I love the added touch where we're like running on walls and rooftops. It just seems really intricate. And I'm excited to give this one a try. And finally, we've got Cowgirl Peach. Kind of flinging the enemies in the barrels with the lasso. Oh, that voice sounded different. That saddle up when she gets on the horse, that really sounded different from how we know Peach's voice to sound. And this has already been talked about in the previous trailer. She sounds a bit different. But that especially sounded different. Like, listen. That sounds really different from Peach. If we were still hesitant on if they changed her voice actress before, to me, this clip kind of says, yes, they did. But with that, that is everything here on the Japanese website so far. It's not super fleshed out, and we still see there's a whole coming soon section, so soon enough, we'll have even more to look at here. But what do you guys think of the Princess Peach Showtime website and new trailer? And, of course, the new power-ups that we saw today. Are you interested in either the Ninja or Cowgirl transformations? Let us know your thoughts down below, and be sure to stay tuned to GameXplain for plenty more on Princess Peach Showtime, and other things gaming as well, of course. Until next time, farewell.